This here is the official uniform of the New Africa, okay? With so many designs we have, this is our most popular design. Africa stacked up, right? And we put some details in there, so in case people knocking them off, they're knocking us off already in Ghana, right? So it's kind of unique anyway. So it's part of the movement, our very, 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 very first viral design that everybody knows, So when you see this brand, it's almost like the Nike sign. When you see this, it's us. Perfect. Now, I didn't make it Ghana, I didn't make it Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya. I just made it the continent. So the goal and vision for this brand is to bridge the gap between Africans in the motherland and Africans in the diaspora.
African Diaspora, Canada. In this episode, Julz Ossom. I continue with part 2 of the conversation that I started with him in the previous episode. If this is your first time on this channel, my name is Ivy Prosper, and I share stories from Africa and the African diaspora. In this series, I am profiling people and experiences in Canada. Julz is Ghanaian, and he immigrated to Canada. He's been very instrumental in the music and urban fashion spaces. He is somebody who has been doing a lot when it comes to promoting Ghana, promoting Africa to the world since the 1990s. He talks about his experience with radio, his experience working with artists, and with how he started his blog that was promoting African music to the world, and how he made the transition into doing his clothing line, promoting Africa to the world. So he's worked with people like Akon is one of the premier artists that he's worked with a lot. Sarkodie from Ghana as well. So let's get into this episode where we hear him tell his stories, his personal experiences from radio, music, and then into the fashion. Let's get to the episode.
Dude, I went to Accra Polytechnic actually, I did supply chain management there. So from there to the radio station was probably 10-15 minutes, right? And then my brother was a chartered accountant in Asalam Down. So anytime we're coming from Tema, the driver will drop my nephews at Christ the King, and then they bring me to school. And then from there, I make my way to the radio station. That was my daily routine, So one day I get to the radio station, and Kwame's like, yo, I made a drop for you. I go listen to it. It's like, oh, it was fire. And I'm like, that's when I started getting creative, dropping my name on the show. And I'll always look at the switchboard, the control board, the volume, because I couldn't still talk. I was a silent DJ. But everybody would come and hang out on my show. Bushke would finish his drive time show and come and sit on my show, and then we hang out. So it became, and then one time, my cook walks through the studio and he said, go ahead. It felt like my birthday, the very first time I could actually speak on radio, Ivy, woo! It was everything, So that's my passion for music. Van Vicker was my radio station mate as well, he would do his shows before mine would come up, and I had all the exclusive songs. So anytime I go to the studio, shouts to my cousin Roland and Prince. Oh my God, these are boys from Tema that always made sure that my sound was ready for the radio station. So every time I was bringing in all the new music and stuff like that. And then before Van will finish the show, before I get on, I'll give him 3 or 4 songs, new songs for him to start playing before I get on. Music had always been a central part of everything. Okay. So on the radio station now, artists were coming in. Those days was like demo CDs. They come sit at the radio station trying to get airplay and everything, And for the record, I know he's going to admit to this, that Manifest first radio interview, I granted him that.
Wow.
Yep.
You granted Manifest's first radio interview
ever in his life. I believed in the future of Africa. That much I can tell you, and even from that time, I was part of the first Pan-African Youth Summit that happened, I think 98, 99. Mm-hmm. So we're like, okay, Kwame Nkrumah said there's a new Africa. If you notice all my Instagram posts, it always starts with
New Africa.
The new Africa. Yeah. That's what we are.
Yeah.
The new Africa, we're proactive, we're go-getters. We're capable of, handling our own circumstances or making things happen for ourselves. We're not waiting for somebody to come and, give us handouts before we get things going. So that was that, and I'm like, how do we make that impact? Because how do we tell the African story by ourselves? Because people are telling the African stories to suit their own perception. Yeah. But how do we tell the story from the African world, and then also make sure that we impact the world? Yeah. So the radio station days, we did everything. I mean, you name it, you know, everything promotional. And then Vibe FM was the first, that December in Ghana thing, that's now the biggest thing right now.
Yeah.
It all started from Vibe FM.
Really?
You got to give credit to where it's due, though.
I didn't know this.
Vibe FM is who started that whole, let's go to Ghana in December.
Okay.
Then in London at the time, there was a crew called 90%. So that's why DJ Abrante was a part of that. Alan, big up Alan, DJ Kofi. I mean, there was a you know, Radical D, and then at the time, Cheddar was into music as well.
Cheddar?
Oh, come on, man. Freedom, yeah. Freedom had a record label, okay, called Wonderworld, all right? And then Freedom managed Scientific.
Now he's a big real estate guy.
Yes, Freedom, like what I love about Cheddar is the fact that he still remembers, you know, the people that looked out for him from way back. This is like Vibe Cafe days, and he was always in Ghana December time. You know, we hanged out. We did. These are all people that were all influenced by Vibe FM. And Vibe FM was December in Ghana. Ooh. Okay. So you see, it was almost like the locals, and then the Londoners were coming in.
Yeah.
And I'm very competitive as well. You know, I play basketball, I swim as well, I play tennis. You know, Vaco Club. So all of that was there, and that competitive spirit had always been my my foundation. And
then how did you get into clothing?
I'm going to get into the clothing back. Right. So shouts to my mentor Babs. Babs was very instrumental in Fubu becoming a big brand globally, right? Fubu. So he had a distribution for all of Europe. So he had like 5 big stores back in the 90s, early 2000s. A black man owning like big retail outlets in Germany was the biggest deal. You know how Germany is like already, you know? So for him, you know, he had in New York, he lived in New York for a bit, did the German thing, and then he had a store. So when I first met him, I was actually working at Vibe FM. Shouts to my boy Westside. That was JJ's nephew that lived in Tema. So Westside was one of the first black people to own a club in Japan.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm giving you lots of, right? So he lived in Rapungi, and then he was close with Babs. So I had finished my radio show, and then went into Boomerang. At the time, there was a club, you know, called Boomerang, not too far from Circle. That was a spot. And I actually met Babs. I think he had just come in from Germany for a holiday. And the previous week, there was a DJ competition by Embassy, the cigarette brand called Embassy.
Okay.
So it was DJ Black that won the awards that night. So how he won, the records and everything, all the DJs were like doing their thing, and Black came in on the turntable. I don't know what he did, but he set the vinyl on fire that night. Yeah.
Like real fire?
Real fire. He lit.
You're not just like saying set it on fire.
No,
like
no. Not like, but this is the actual fire. Like he got his lighter, lit the vinyl, and then he was going, oh my God, that was it. End of competition. Black stole the show. He'll tell you. So the week after, that's when I met Babs. I was with my boy, you know, my partner. I told you about Osman Records. Then Kobler had just come in from London to come, you know, hang out with me. And that's where we met Babs. Babs said he's from Tema as well. And from there, like, you know, we became friends. I was like probably 17 or 18 years old. And till now, we're still friends, you know? So that's how I got into the fashion, because he had influence that he had a whole distribution thing going on, right? And I migrated to Canada. I mean, the week before I left, actually the month before I left Ghana to officially move to Canada was almost like me saying goodbye to the country, because I was on radio every night. I'll leave from Tema, and I'll tell you this, it's not even about money, because when you're driven by passion, when I was on radio for the first 6-7 months, I wasn't getting paid. It was almost like an internship. So I'll leave, when you believe in something, money should not stop you. You know what you're going for, right? So it wasn't about the money for me, it was about just opportunity and maximizing that. And literally got to say goodbye to the whole country, you know?
So what made you decide to say goodbye and come to Canada?
Well, they said the streets were paved with gold.
They said the streets were paved with gold in Canada.
It was migration. It was just opportunity for me to be out here, right?
Right.
So,
no, I'm always just curious, because some people, it's a job opportunity. Some people come for school.
No, it was family though. Yeah, it was family, you know. So opportunity came, and I had to, like, you know, at the time, everybody had left. I remember these words very, very, very clearly. When the last friend of mine, all my friends that are living abroad, I was the last person to leave the country.
Oh.
Yeah, so but I stayed back, and I remember these words my father said to me. My best friend had left, and he said, you are a light. And my father is Kobo, right? So my traditional name is Tete. He said, Tete, you are a light, and wherever you are, you must shine. Okay?
You're a light, and wherever you are, you must shine.
And those words, like, I didn't, people were like, oh, I have to leave Ghana to go make it. No, I was still making that impact in Ghana with what I had, you know? So it was like, you can't fake passion. So I moved to Canada, and still had a radio influence, knew virtually almost all the artists. I wanted to find a way to still put African music on. So that's where Ghana Mixtapes came about. So Ghana Mixtapes literally was an online portal where we showcase the very best music out of Ghana, out of Africa, put DJs on, give up-and-coming artists the opportunity to get their music heard, right? And I got involved with a group of web designers. I said, listen, I need this blog to do well, and I'm very proud. Like, I don't think anybody can come and dispute what I'm saying now, but so Ghana Mixtapes was one of the first music blogs out of Africa that was pushing African artists globally. I mean, there was a few ones that were there.
Yeah.
I knew one blog. I think it's called Miziki from I think South Africa or Zimbabwe. Those were like the only one or two closed blogs that I knew. But Ghana Mixtapes was actually on the forefront of that, pushing artists and stuff like that. For me, I wanted to discourage the payola system where people will pay to have their music placed. I wanted to push real, genuine talent. That was what Ghana Mixtapes was all about.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this, I mean, just even before everybody was getting online with their numbers, at one time, if I'm not exaggerating, we're doing almost 20 million hits, visits a month. Yep.
What? I didn't know it was that
It was heavy though. I mean, like, we're gonna get back to that again, but we're onto something.
Now there's so many people doing it, but you were like one of the pioneers.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. Wow. I think 2006, 7, Bob started working with Akon, right? And initially was going to go work with what's his name, Nelly, and even had a meeting with was supposed to help Usher build his brand. Then he got connected with Akon, and they said, no, we're going to do Akon instead. So we're like literally, running everything for Babs Online. And I remember that meeting very well. Everything went out, and Babs came in, changed everything around Akon. Helped Akon become who he is now, and helped actually take Akon's artistry to a whole next level. He brought in a producer from Amsterdam called Jojo. So they formed piano music, and so many things happened. And then actually with his fashion background, they started a clothing brand for Akon called Convict Clothing. So when Convict Clothing started, I was responsible for the online website, helping, all of that stuff. That's where, so I'm just giving you
where into going to your Africa,
where my brand came from, So Akon's brand, I was managing the website presence, online sales and everything. Then we used to go to Vegas every February and August for the Magic Show. This is where
the Magic Show.
Yeah, you get to see all the new brands coming out and stuff like that.
The Magic Show is a show that's a trade show where a lot of people in the fashion industry go and they showcase a lot of their designs in the hopes of being purchased by other companies. Buyers come and they're buying multiples wholesale product. It's a perfect place to be.
And then the opportunity came in I think 2009-10 for me to actually have the whole distribution of Convict Clothing here in Canada. 2013, I remember that very well. I went into a depression because the depression that I went into was, I'm a visionary, and my concept of bringing everybody together. I'm always that. I'm that person. I want to bring you in, connect people. That's my job, So we had an idea. Afrobeats was now coming up, because we saw it coming, but, we were like, we're going to call it the African Invasion Movement. So 100% African was our very first design that, we did, and we also had the African Invasion t-shirt, So before it wasn't even AIM, it was just African Invasion, right? and we had an idea for a party called Afrobeats Fridays. Share the ideas with a few people, and that's another key I'm going to drop here for you as well. Careful who you share your ideas with, because sometimes people take the idea and then run with it, but they will not be able to execute it the same way you have it in there. Actually, make sure things are in line first before you even you're going to share things with people. Make sure you're sharing it with the right people. And for a person of Akon's reputation and stature, ready to support an idea that I had just brought, right? And I had 2 shirts made, one for him, one for me, and he said, yeah, sure, let's do it. So for 30 minutes before the flight took off, when business class talking about, the whole movement. And then when we got to Accra, we stayed at the Movenpick hotel. Everybody was there. Like, everybody would come check me and everything. So, we got to connect. And the press conference for that was the birth of Clothing by AIM.
Okay.
So Akon went to the press conference. It was hosted by, I've forgotten who that guy is, but I know Jocelyn Dumas was there. I was at Reggie Rockstone's office. And he had so if you see the very, 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 very first official pictures of the brand, it's Akon in the African Invasion shirt, V-neck, and he had African Invasion Accra. So that I wanted to show all the different landmarks on all the different cities. You're African, where you making an impact from? Yeah. Accra, Lagos, South Africa. So those are all some of the places that the first concept came about. So I got to the press conference late, right? And Bob said, "Oh, your T-shirt is all over the world right now, right?" So every picture that came out that weekend with him, that's where the brand started.
That's amazing.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to come back to Toronto, and then that's when everything happened. We just took off. So this here is the official uniform of the New Africa, okay? With so many designs we have, this is our most popular design, Africa stacked up, right? And we put some details in there, so in case people knocking them off, they're knocking us off already in Ghana, right? So it's kind of unique anyway. So it's part of the movement, our very, 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 very first viral design that everybody knows, So when you see this brand, it's almost like the Nike sign. When you see this, it's us. So even when the store open, when our signs go up, it's just going to be this one here, Perfect. Now, I didn't make it Ghana, I didn't make it Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya. I just made it a continent. So the goal and vision for this brand is to bridge the gap between Africans in the motherland and Africans in the diaspora. Okay. That's what this is all about. And also, how do we empower our global communities through fashion, entertainment, business, tourism, sports, and technology? Because it's the New Africa. We need all these. It's a lifestyle brand, It's a brand for the whole family, right? So this is our number one style right there. And we got something for the ladies as well, So it comes in V-neck, very comfortable. It's got like some spandex in there as well. This actually serves as like a multi-purpose shirt. You can actually wear it at home when you're chilling. You can wear it to the gym. You can wear it on a casual Friday. And even when you're going corporate, you're going to your business meetings, you can actually wear this and wear a blazer on top of it, right? So that's that. All right. So this, we took all the symbols from Ghana, Ejinkwa symbols, all of them have a meaning. And it's almost like telling our culture to the rest of the world. So we incorporated that into urban wear, everyday wear, and streetwear, So pretty much you represented and talking about your roots. It's a conversation starter. People ask, oh, what are this symbol, what this means? For me personally, my favorite symbol is this one here, Akofina.
Yes. Say it again, your favorite symbol.
My favorite symbol is this here, Akofina. That's the warrior. It talks about bravery and determination and heroism. I think it speaks a lot about me and what I do, right? So it means don't be timid, pursue your what do you call it, your goals or your vision with everything that you have in you, right? God gave us the vision. He didn't say sit down with it. He didn't say walk with it. He says run with the vision. So that's what we're doing, right? Shouts to Virgil and shouts to Seth Ghana. We also got inspired to start our own skate brand. Okay, so we put the Ejinkwa symbols on the skateboard. We're actually doing this collection to help Troop Skate Club. in Kumasi to help the local places get skateboard parks for them to surf in and skate in and do all of that, right? So sports is very important.
How do you're raising money for this?
So proceeds from that is going to be used to help build a skate park in Kumasi, you know.
All right.
I'm from Tema, but I've always had a passion for Kumasi because when we got Sarkodie signed in 2010 with Convict Music, I said Kumasi was going to be the next place that was going to take over. And it happened. From there, it's going to be Takrady, so watch out for that one, right? So this is the one that we did. And we came out with our own line of skateboard shoes, right? So these are the very first ones. It has all the symbols as well. And underneath that, it has African Invasion underneath that. The AIM shoes, our slogan is walk the talk. Okay, so if you know you can't do it, don't talk about it. And if you talk about it, you gotta do it. It's our action. Our bucket hats here, these are all, okay? This design was inspired by my OG Babs, Africa in me, right? We had a continent and we had to top that one in there. You gotta give credit, respect the connect. That's very, very important as well. The ball shorts, I love basketball, by the way, you know, so how could we bring that African touch to it, right? So everything I love is going into that. So that comes in 3 colors, red, black, and then in white as well, right? So that's pretty much that. And then finally, I want to show you, this is one of my favorite designs. 2 ladies in a hair salon in Ghana. This is actually from the Basel Missionary Archives, by the way, right? So motherland certified, you know, just letting people know where we're from, be proud of your roots, and then pretty much share that with the world, right? So that's that. It comes in hoodies, it comes in jogger pants and stuff like that. And this Edinkra symbols, shouts to Black Sheriff. He's always you know, promoting what we wear. So he did Kukuda Traveler. He did a couple of videos in that as well, right? And then these are also the bucket hats. This is the whole Africa map, right? That has been put together to form the bucket mat, right? So that's pretty much that. And then finally, this is an accessory every African globally need to have, right? So it says AIM, ambition in me, Africa in me, African invasion movement. So the camouflage, the way I look at it, why camouflage is because we have to fight for our identity. We have to fight every day to be who we are and not waver from that. So that's the inspiration behind the AIM camo. I believe in the future of Africa. There's so much more coming. We got way to go. Be proud of who you are 100%. Do not wait for what the continent can do for you, you know? The knowledge, everything that you're doing here, how can you bring that back home? I want to give shout outs to everybody, all my outliers, everybody that has been involved with us on this journey in a small or big way. When we spoke about it, it was just an idea that we wrote on paper and on the wall. Like even at home, my bed, I don't even have a headboard. I actually have a big wallpaper that has the vision board on there. And we're touching on everything. We also have the, Aim to Impact. That's the non-profit side because I believe in giving back to the community. And it's how do we make an impact to the arts and culture, you know? So we do a few programs. It's called History of Our Music Education. It began in Africa, connecting people and telling them about the continent, how music started. Music is what's channeling and powering everything, right? Then annually we have the African Music Week. African music is taking over right now. Now I want to focus on the business side of it, you know, bringing in resource people, panelists that will talk about the business side of the industry because there's so much on the talent side, but the business side is lacking. So Toronto is that place where every artist every year has to come in and show up. You get to meet everybody. You want to give a shout outs to our Canadian Music Week. They've given us a big platform to showcase Afrobeats or African music on a big side. Yeah, so we did a very first Afrobeats panel. We had Smade from Afro Nation. We had Shop Sidhu, Godwin Tom, Luke Moon. This was a heavy panel. It was moderated by our boy Chinedu from Gambo. So this was a heavy panel that came to talk about Africa. We're all African ambassadors globally. So when the opportunity comes for you to step out for your continent, do not hesitate. Let's go make it happen, all right? So let's get that going and see you soon. Thank you.
So this has been a really good episode here with Julz, Africa to the world. Like seriously, he has been one of the pioneers of this whole movement of promoting Africa, of believing in the future of Africa, of the continent and the diaspora community. I'm so glad that I got a chance to come to your little shop here in Kensington Market in the heart of the city of Toronto. If you ever come to Toronto, you've got to come here at 56 Kensington Avenue in Kensington Market area, a historic part of the city. So thank you so much for watching. I'll have all the information on how you can get your own merchandise.
On a hot Accra day, you know.
Wait, which what?
Yeah, either way is fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah, see?
Africa in me. Africa in me. Africa in you. Africa to the world.